Bandidos, what up? Alright, Season 3 of The Division 2 just dropped, and we've got a lot to talk about. This isn't just another seasonal update, there are some real changes here, and if you want to make the most of it, you're gonna need to hit the ground running. So let's break it all down. What's new, what matters, and what you should be doing on day one to get ahead. Let's do this.
Wait, did we just become best friends? So nice to meet you. I think you're cool.
Piece of shit wristwatch.
First, let's talk about where to find everything. So open up your main menu, slide over to the tab on the right, and there it is, the season menu. That's where you'll find the season rewards track, the journey, priority objectives, and the events timeline. The rewards track is pretty standard, similar to what we saw last season. You can earn rewards for free, pick up the season pass for about $10, or go all in with the season bundle for $29, which includes everything from the lower tiers. If you grab the bundle, you don't need to buy the season pass separately. It's all included. The big rewards to aim for this season: exotic gloves at level 29 and the new exotic SMG at level 69. Also, the gear set is really good. To level up, you'll need to earn season XP, which is different from regular XP. You can get it from almost any activity now, and higher difficulties give you more. Just keep in mind, directives don't give you extra season XP, so don't waste your time thinking they do. Now, the journey is where things get interesting. Every season, this introduces a new set of modifiers that completely changes how you play. There are 7 missions, each with 8 objectives. You only need to complete 6 out of the 8 per mission, so you've got options. Mission 1 and 2, totally option, so I'm skipping those for now. But if you want to unlock those crucial active and passive modifiers, you must finish missions 3 through 7. That's what's going to give you the real edge throughout the season. And some rewards are tied to these journey missions instead of the rewards track. So if you skip them, you're going to be missing out. And if cosmetics matter to you, completing all 7 gets you an exclusive one: this mask. Priority objectives are another new feature they introduced with Seasons 2.0, and it's been revamped. If you want to know more about the seasonal changes and the patch notes, you can watch this video. But think of these as randomized RNG-based projects. You won't know what you're getting until you decrypt them, but completing them gives you solid rewards, including XP and season XP. The smart move? Run these at the same time as your journey objectives to double up on rewards. If you don't like what you get, you can abandon it and re-roll up to 3 times in a row, with a full refresh on re-rolls every 24 hours. If you're really grinding, you can also earn extra re-rolls just by completing these objectives. Now, instead of the old Manhunt system, we've got Scouts. This is a weekly project where you have to decode activities using a cipher, pretty much a puzzle element added to the game. And the puzzles are pretty cool. If you're not a cryptologist working for the CIA, you're probably going to need an online decoder. Knock these out and you'll get big season XP boosts. Finish all of them before the season ends and you'll unlock a special mission where you'll be hunting down Kelso. That's going to be a handcrafted mission with a new master difficulty setting, which sits somewhere between heroic and legendary. If you beat it, you'll have a chance to score the new exotic backpack. Beyond that, there's a new gear set, some new named weapons, a brand new weapon talent, and a new brand set. You can farm all of this right away in Countdown without having to unlock anything. No need to wait, just jump in and start grinding from day one. So what's the best way to start strong this season? First priority is unlocking all of your active and passive modifiers while leveling up to grab those exotics. The easiest way to do this? Activate your global modifier. Focus on your journey missions, knock out priority objectives, and take care of your first week scout. And here's a tip. Using modifiers gives you a 10% boost in seasonal XP, so don't ignore them. Plus, you have to use them in order to progress through your journey. You can find modifiers in your build menu under the SHD receiver at the top. Global modifiers at the top, followed by your active and then passive modifiers. Speaking of modifiers, the season is built around the Rogue Momentum global modifier. It's all about building momentum through combat, whether that's landing crits, getting kills, or other actions. The more momentum you have, the stronger you get, and it's not just about power boosts either. This modifies your weapon and skill damage, movement speed, reload speed, rate of fire, and gives you skill overcharge. There are 5 momentum levels and you can track it on your UI, but momentum decays over time, so you'll need to keep up the pressure. Sprinting and using a pulse ability will slow the decay rate, which is a good trick to keep in mind. One thing to watch out for: blacklisted targets. These enemies drain your momentum when they damage you, but if you take them out, you'll get a momentum boost, plus a 10% increase in crit chance and weapon handling, so prioritize these dudes. Once you start unlocking modifiers, you'll need to equip them. There are 3 active ones: objectives, and there's an activation button on your UI that will brighten when it's available. And each has a specific cooldown and duration. And so far, from what I can tell, but I got more exploring to do, is that you require momentum or a certain amount of momentum in order to use your active modifiers. Then there are 12 passive modifiers, and you can equip 3 at a time. These give you situational bonuses. On top of all of that, there's also a hostile modifier called Frenzy, and this appears to be a lot better than the hostile modifiers from Season 2. And Frenzy makes enemies more aggressive as you gain momentum. They'll move faster, shoot faster, and repair themselves more. The deeper you go into your journey, the worse it gets, up to 30% increased rate of fire, 30% movement speed, and 10% repair per second. So if you want to be efficient from the jump, here's the play. Activate your global modifier, then go straight into your journey missions. Start at mission 3, pin it so you can track progress. Next, decrypt a priority objective. I recommend choosing open world activities if you can. Abandon priority objectives as needed until you get one that's desirable. Finally, finish week 1's scout, and you'll be stacking XP gains across multiple systems. I don't recommend doing legendary while you're trying to level up your season. Okay, so that's the quick breakdown for Season 3. Now let's take a closer look at the journey, the missions, and the objectives, and I'll give you some quick tips to progress through this quite quickly. I'm gonna recommend 3 builds to have ready so that you can efficiently get through this. One is an explosive build using the artillery turret and seeker mines. Objectives are going to require multiple kills and explosive kills and skill kills, a lot. And this is going to cover all of your bases. 2, you're going to need a crit build. It doesn't matter what kind, assault rifle, SMG, whatever. 3, you're going to need a headshot build. That could be a rifle headshot build using the 1886, my XP farm build, or a hotshot build. And finally, you're going to want a assault turret and attack drone build. I mentioned this earlier, but you have 7 total missions inside your journey, each with 8 objectives, and you only need to complete 6. It's really helpful to identify which 2 you're not going to focus on. And sometimes that reveals itself towards the end because you realize that the progress on something is painfully slow. For example, the ones that say something like maintain momentum at tier 2 for 60 seconds or 120 seconds or tier 4, something like that, avoid those. Those are painfully boring, really slow to complete. But as you can see, completing each one of these objectives is going to give you a little bit of seasonal XP, and then when you complete the mission, you're going to get a big chunk plus the rewards that are on the left, including the modifiers, and that's what this is all about. I'm just going to give it to you straight here. I did objective 3 organically out there in the open world. It took a while. These are intended to be grindy. It's that typical Ubisoft open world Western gaming checklist thing we've seen a bazillion times. There's nothing really exciting about it. It's just a checklist. And I like a grind. I like having something to look forward to. I do, but these big checklists are daunting. And this is better than last season. I will admit that. So they have improved this. But with the new seasonal structure and the delay of the new DLC, there's not really any new content as part of these seasons like we saw in Season 2 or here in Season 3 until you sort of get to the end, which is going to be that climax mission. So the real quote-unquote content is the modifiers. That's what's new and the meat of the season now. So if you really want to get the taste and enjoy the season, you're going to want to unlock your modifiers as soon as possible. That's sort of the hurry there. And because there's not any new missions to enjoy and stuff like that, then the other pies in the sky are going to be your new exotics. So you're going to want to grind through that rewards track quickly. And so it took me a while to figure out that there's a way to cheese all of this. A lot of these objectives you can do in the testing range. It's extremely cheesy. Yes, I know, but I'm here to give you the most efficient route. And I am an advocate for enjoying the content, but I gotta say a list of things to do isn't really content. They're just checklists. And I'm not a big fan of cheesing things, but I also feel like developers encourage you to cheese when they throw something at you like this, which is just a big chunky list. So my biggest tip is to try to double or overlap certain things. So do your priority objective, for example. While you're doing your priority objective, get your eliminate hostiles with headshots objective. So that's where you're gonna need your headshot build. Really easy. It's a big number, but it's easy. Achieve double kills was tough, and I originally did this in the open world, but I later learned in later chapters it's so much easier to do this in the testing range using your artillery turret. And then that's going to cover your double kills, your hostiles with explosives, and hostiles using skills. So you're gonna get all three of these at once by going into the testing range with a turret, as well as eliminate hostiles. Okay, for number 4, not much is different here. So restore armor. The trick to this one is in the testing range, damage yourself, set this target to invulnerable elite, put on your crit recovery, and then just recover yourself. Damage yourself, crit to recover. Damage yourself, crit to recover. Extremely boring, gets done in a few minutes. Eliminate hostiles using seeker mines. Again, this is a lot easier in the testing range. Eliminate frenzied hostiles. It's a big number, and as you can see, I didn't get very far even though I completed this list. They don't show up very often. Achieve double kills using explosive skills, artillery turret, and the seeker mines in the testing range is going to cover this, or go to a control point. Prevent momentum decay. That's pretty easy. This is all going to happen passively here. Eliminate blacklisted hostiles. So blacklisted hostiles will have that little person icon with a slash through it. So RNG randomly generates these dudes. So it can take a while to get this, but I did most of this in the testing range also. Maintain momentum tier 2 for 120 seconds. This is painful. I did it for a little bit and it was so painful I just stopped doing it. It is literally maintain momentum in the second tier. It can't drop to 1 and it can't go to 3. So you're kind of nerfing your damage and just kind of shooting dudes. It's very, very painful. Perform headshot kills to boost momentum. That's pretty easy. I put on my XP farm headshot build. This one will not work in the testing range. You got to go out there to do it. And remember, when you complete all 6, it'll let you know that you have unlocked the next one and your rewards will be available. You do have to claim your rewards. You're going to need to equip the modifiers they rewarded you because you're going to need them on the next one. Eliminate hostiles while overdrive is active. Testing range, activate it, kill them. And then eliminate hostiles while overdrive is on cooldown. So these are all skills, which is pretty easy. I used the explosive turret. I felt like that was the easiest. And then reaching momentum tier 5 is a little bit more tedious. So basically what you want to do is reach tier 5, which is really easy with your turret, and then let it decay to tier 4, which only takes a second or 2, or about 5 seconds altogether. And then strike those enemies again, get a kill, and it'll take you to tier 5, and then wait for it to decay to tier 4. Do it again. Now I'm currently working on 5, but it looked like almost everything could be done in the testing range. So it's going to be a recurring theme here. That's how I'm doing it, mostly because I really want to grind to get these done so I can cover. But if you don't want to cheese it, then get out there and do it. There's no real hurry. Modifiers are pretty exciting. You want to get those as soon as possible, but we do have 4 months in the season. So there's that. Hopefully this helps you get that W on day 1. Catch you on the next one.
Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm Tuxedo Bandido, and if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on the good stuff I have coming for you. And if you like content like this, be sure to check out the video I have recommended for you right here. If you have anything you would like me to cover, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make things possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be the same without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Wait, did we just become best friends?